Peggy 3.
You join us once again in the boot room. I'm Matt Cuttle, this is Darren Cross from Match Magazine, and this week we're talking shooting, but we're being quite specific this week, aren't we, Darren?
That's right, we're going to look at the different types of shots available according to the situation that you're in.
Now, when you've got a shot on goal, you've only got a split second to make a decision. There are different ways you can actually shoot that ball into the back of the net. So let's talk about the first one, power.
Yeah, the power shot's probably one of the most simple shots available, but it's also one of the most effective. And there are a few different situations where I might go for one. So if I'm through on goal, I'll take a simple power shot just by holding the button down. Obviously, the longer you hold it, the harder you hit it. If I'm running through on goal, I might want to get the ball out of my feet to really charge up a power shot. To do that, I'll use the right trigger or I'll press the right stick just to nudge it away and then power the shot up by holding the button as I'm running onto it. And finally, I'll go for a power shot, often as a first time shot when the ball is in the path of my player and I feel like I might get caught up by the defenders around me. If it looks like they're quicker than me, then I'll definitely take the shot first time and hopefully it'll go in, but if not, there's a chance I'll pick up the rebound.
Now let's look at the lob or chip shot. Is that something you do quite a lot, or is that something you save for special occasions?
Yeah, it's a bit of a special occasion thing really. If I'm a few goals up against a mate, I'll perhaps go for a lob over the keeper. And the reason I don't do that too often is because it's really hard to get right. The other time actually that I will chip the ball is if I go round the goalkeeper. Often the keeper will recover or the defenders will try to recover by sliding back across the line. So it's a good idea then just to put a very low powered chip onto the ball, and you'll often find that it just takes the ball over the goalkeeper or any defenders that are running back.
Now we see an example here, no one actually does run in to try and intercept it, but if someone did, that would stand a better chance of going in, yeah?
Exactly, yeah, they'd be anticipating a low shot, so they'd hit the slide button and hopefully the ball would just drift over them and it'd be a goal anyway.
Is there an optimum distance to perform the lob shot?
The distance is important, but really it's all about practice. If you're too close to the goal, you're not going to be able to get the ball up and then down in time. So when you go for the chip, hold LB and then try and select the right amount of power using the shoot button, and just keep in mind how close or far you are away from goal.
Now let's move on to the finesse shot. That's a way of curling the ball around the keeper with the right bumper, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. The finesse shot moves a bit slower than the power shot, but it's good if you want to sort of bend it around the keeper and into an area of the goal that he's not protecting. And that's really when I'll go for it. If I'm through at an angle diagonally and there's a big gap between the keeper and the far post, then usually a finesse shot is a good idea then just to bend it around into that area.
Would you ever try a finesse shot outside the penalty area?
You very rarely get the right amount of power now in FIFA 13 with the finesse shot outside of the area. And finesse shots are also great when you haven't got a lot of space in the box. So if there isn't the room to get the ball out of your feet and take a power shot, then you can go for finesse again by holding the right bumper and choosing a direction, and then your power by holding the power button. And like I say, you don't need the run up or anything like that to sort of hit these shots. You can just get them out of your feet and try and curl them straight past the keeper.
Now finally, if you want to show off, we've got the Flair shot, and these are quite interesting to look at, aren't they?
Yeah, they do look really cool when they work, and they're quite contextual. So as the ball's coming towards you, depending on where your player is positioned and the height of the ball, if you hold left trigger and then hit the shoot button, you'll do anything from a diving header to an overhead kick to a half volley. It just depends on how the ball's coming to you and where.
Would you ever try and pull these off if it was a tight match, or again, is it something you try and do when you're a couple of goals up?
It really depends on the situation. I mean, if I am struggling to get to the ball from across, then it's great for a diving header. You know, you hold LT, hold your direction towards the goal and hit the shoot button, and your player will hopefully perform a diving header at goal and would get to the ball that he otherwise wouldn't have if you hadn't have done that. So in that situation, they're great, but often, yeah, it is a little bit more about showboating.
Finally, Darren, any other tips for shooting?
Yeah, it sounds really obvious, but it's important to remember to use the left stick to aim the ball really precisely when you're shooting. So as you're powering up your shot, use the left stick to choose the area of the goal you're aiming for, and you should hit the target.
Yeah, it's not necessarily always the same direction you're running in, is it?
No, exactly. You know, you could be coming at an angle and wanting to shoot for the far corner or the near corner, so you need to keep that in mind and pick the right place when you're aiming.
As always, thanks for those tips, Darren, because without them, we won't be able to discuss what we're going to look at next week, will we?
That's right. Next week, we're going to look at cool ways to celebrate when you've scored.
I look forward to that. Have they put Gangnam Style in there yet?
No.
What a shame. Right, you can catch Darren every week in Match Magazine. Don't forget, that's out on a Tuesday. We'll see you next week for those celebrations and how to do them in the boot room.